All right, everybody, welcome back. Listen, I've been wanting to talk about this for quite some time now, but now that there's an actual construction date for the Arc de Triomphe in Washington, D.C., it's time to have a little ranty rant. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, the wealthiest people in this country are officially giving themselves a trophy and planting it right next to the Lincoln Memorial. It's just a trophy of conquest. That's what it is, right? The American people in general have a net worth of $400 and a negative credit score because they wanted to buy a toaster and they needed to borrow the money from Klarna. And the wealthiest people have cumulatively captured basically all the money in this country. And this is just a trophy to that. When he announced it and the journalist asked, who's this for? He said, well, me. And you know what? I think that was a very honest answer. Truly, I think that it was, because this isn't a trophy for anyone else, right? The American population right now are facing some of the hardest times that they've ever had since the Great Depression. That is true. Unemployment is high. Wages are down. Cost of living skyrocketing. Ability to own homes, impossible. 10 cities growing day by day, and the infrastructure is crumbling. But it is a golden age for wealthy people in America. They are continuing to cash in, baby. They've conquered America. They have won. And this is the trophy that they've given themselves. This thing simply just looks like something that a Saudi prince is going to put in their garden outside. It's gilded. It has eagles, it's falcons, whatever it is. It's got a pretty lady on top with wings that they say is supposed to be Lady Liberty, but we all know it's just supposed to be Ivanka. It's the most gaudy, aggressive kind of fuck you piece of history that's now being placed for all tourists coming to Washington, D.C. to actually see. So for 2026, it's absolutely appropriate. We are in a Great Recession, the Great Recession 2.0. I know this because all the statistics say that we are performing as a country way worse than we were during the Great Financial Crisis of 2008. But the economists out there who don't look at real world numbers, all they do is look at GDP and look at how the wealthy people are doing. They're saying that, hey, everything's great. But like I said, they've won. You lost your house in 2008, but in 2026, you never had a house. You got people living in converted shipping containers in freedom cities in Nevada. No Wi-Fi, no air conditioning, no power, no sewage, no plumbing. Pretty soon you're going to be living on a bunk bed that's financed by private equity, and they're the same people who are going to be financing your insulin. You've got the wealthiest people in this country having great Gatsby parties, putting up Arc de Triomphes, building great ballrooms. And American people this year, because the price of beef has gone up so high, they're just going to be eating like flour and cricket-based meat patties. The future's looking bleak. It's looking real Snowpiercer out there. It really is. The traditional job market's absolutely dead. And the only thing that's really saving people at this point is you have 50 and 60-year-olds who are out there because their Social Security is only gone up 2.8%, while real inflation has gone up 15%. And they've got to reduce themselves to doing TikTok dances that 19-year-olds are doing, getting out there shaking their ass on their phone for money. So in the middle of that, in the middle of kind of the rubble that used to be the American middle class, on top of that pile of rubble, Trump is going to erect the Arc de Triomphe, the American version. And like I said, he's right. He's right to do it because it is a moment of conquest. Right? It's a victory lap by the rich. It's a victory lap by the wealthy, victory lap by the president. I cannot say it enough, and I don't know why it hasn't gotten more traction. The fact that people say, well, he's not taking a paycheck. Yeah, but his wealth has increased $2 billion since he's become president. And he didn't make that kind of money when he wasn't president. He makes that kind of money now simply because he is president, and he helps out his friends. Right? Like I said, they have class solidarity. They look out for each other. They give each other the deals. The rich won. They conquered America. That's what the arch is. It's not about independence. It's not about freedom. It's a monument to the fact that they successfully extracted every little bit of wealth from the American people, the American peasantry, and now they want to erect a giant fucking arch for them that you can't walk through. We have to think about the psychology of this entire thing because it's a power move. That's what this is. This is the ultimate landlord move. It's saying, I know you can't afford rent. I know you're driving a 2012 Honda Civic with no catalytic converter because your neighbor stole it from you. It has 3 different colored doors. I know you're miserable, But we're going to take your tax dollars that you've given us, the few tax dollars you can provide at this point, and I'm going to build a big, beautiful, shiny object that serves absolutely no purpose, but it looks pretty when I fly over it in my helicopter. And the best part of this entire thing is the rural America. Love it. They celebrate it. Are they ever going to be able to afford to go to Washington, D.C.? No, they're too busy boiling their belt straps to eat those for lunch because they can't afford anything, because all of them are on Medicare and all their premiums have gone up significantly. They're broke, but they love it. They love the idea of it because they live vicariously through the wealthy. Because in rural America, you don't have a life to live. What do? You just sit around, you drink, you maybe work a job, but more than likely you're on unemployment, you're on Social Security disability or VA disability. Because there's no jobs to actually pay the bills. There's very few. So you live vicariously through a class that doesn't actually care about you at all. It's just like another kind of professional sports. That's all that it is. Politics have become professional sports. More importantly, or more likely, professional wrestling to poor idiots in rural America. Right? They like the glamour. They like the pizzazz. They like the fireworks, right? They like watching Erica Kirk up there grieving in her glittery dress and giving "I'm gonna kill you" eyes to every journalist who asks questions about free speech. Like I said, they love the arts. They love the idea of it. You can talk to anybody. It doesn't matter if they're from Idaho. It doesn't matter if they're from Ohio. If they support this guy, what they're going to say is, it's beautiful. It doesn't matter if they just lost their job because the plant that they had that held up that small town just got shut down. It doesn't matter that their wife just left them for a fentanyl dealer. It doesn't matter that their house is falling into a sinkhole. You ask, what do you think about the Arc de Trump? And they will literally look you in the eyes and say, I love it. It's showing the world that America's back. But that's the genius of the grip. That's the genius of the Trump era, the disgusting genius of it. He understands that the American people don't want solutions. We don't want infrastructure. We don't want healthcare. Ew, gross. That's too European. The American people want a show. We want a spectacle. We want military aircraft laden with explosives to fly over NASCAR while you have a country singer that really no one cares about singing the national anthem. These people could live in a dumpster, live in sludge, eating filth. They can look up at Trump and his golden tower and say, look at that guy, he's rich. Good for him, he made it. It's the feudal mindset. We're serfs, we're peasants. That's what the American people are now. If you support this shit, you're just a loyal peasant, you're a loyal serf, but it doesn't mean you're not getting juiced for your labor just like the rest of us are. Even more so, because Trump knows that he can do whatever he wants to his supporters and they're not going to do anything. Because if you're part of that side and you raise any kind of objection to any decision or policy that's being made, you are going to get dumped on by a coalition of his sycophants. That is what it's like to be a member of MAGA, right? You can't do shit. Because these people still live under the delusion that someday if they spend enough hours working at the Amazon fulfillment center that's going to replace the factory that they've been working in for 2 or 3 generations. Maybe one day if they work hard enough and they save up enough, they can be the one putting up a golden arch on the National Mall. And the outrage machine coming from the left, like I said, that has no teeth, right? Corporate Democrats aren't doing anything to stop this. Fuck them. What do you think this is? Do you think this is still a democracy? Do you think any of that actually still matters? You're choosing between a hedge fund manager and a game show host that wants to be the next Caesar. To be fair, the arch is probably the most honest thing coming out of Washington, D.C. right now. Because at least this tells us where we are right now. The Lincoln Memorial has just become a lie. A government for the people, by the people, of the people. Tear that down. Tear down the Lincoln Memorial and replace it with a Pizza Hut Taco Bell combination with a massive drive-through. Because if you've driven in D.C., it's a nightmare. So you need a big drive-through. That's more honest to what America is about now, right? It's not about freedom. It's not about representation. It's not about the ownership of one's course in life. No, it is not. It's about driving into the nation's capital and ordering a personal pan pizza and 2 steak chalupas with nacho cheese and eating all those in the same sitting, all in the shadow of the Arc de Trump. That is what America truly is. The Arc de Trump is just truth in advertising. And it says, We're an empire. We take things, we conquer. We build big, stupid golden things to celebrate ourselves while we watch our roads crumble. That's what America is. It's honest, and I think I have to respect that a little bit. Ugh. And the thing is, it's going to be a great tourist attraction. It's going to bring people into DC. People are going to love it. People are going to see it. People are going to take pictures of it. You're going to have Chinese tourists lining up with their selfie sticks and their drones to take pictures of it, if drones are still legal at that point, because my God, you see what's happening in Ukraine with those things. Imagine a family vacation in 2027 after this thing is actually built, right? You pack up the family into your electric minivan and you drive the 40 miles before you need a 6-hour charge. You drive down to DC and you step over all the homeless encampments, which are now illegal, by the way, so it's just urban camping, but people are hiding in the bushes. You go to the Arch, you pay a $75 entry fee because you know there's going to be a fee because it's a Trump property. You go up the golden elevator and you look out over the city. On one side, you see the Capitol, where they're currently arguing whether clean water is actually a human right. And on the other side, you have the Potomac, which is just going to be glowing green because they defunded the EPA. At that point, you have to look down at your kids and you have to tell them, you see that? That's the Arc de Trump. It's to remind us all that we are the winners. And then you get back in your van and then you drive your 40 miles back to your hovel, and your son looks up to you with hollow, sunken eyes because he's suffering from malnourishment. And he asks you if we can have dinner at the Family Dollar. And you look down at him with pride saying, yes, we can, son, because we're free. God, I love this country. I really do. It's an absolute horror show. It is just a circus where the clowns are armed and the lions are starving. That is what our great nation has become. But it's entertaining. You got to give it that. There's always something to be freaking out about. There's always some great crisis. Now, would it be nice if we had a nice day? It would be nice if we just had 1 week where nothing happened and we can all just kind of settle into all the things that have been happening over the past year. That would be lovely, but that's just not in the cards. Oh, they're also saying they might put Robert E. Lee on the Arch itself or somewhere close to it. Trump said something like, oh, he was a great general, which he was a good general. I mean, we have to give him that. But of course, Trump follows that up with, he's very strong, he had a beautiful beard. You can't take these people seriously, right? The fact that they have power is frightening, and it just makes you want to give up on the entire thing. Or go pick up the Communist Manifesto and get real militant, really start embracing the Second Amendment, you know? But I mean, why not put Robert E. Lee up there? I mean, it would make sense. Listen, put more than that. Make it a Mount Rushmore of people who just didn't know when to quit. You put the My Pillow guy up there, put Napoleon Bonaparte up there, put Robert E. Lee up there. It's fitting because it's a nation that refuses to look itself in the mirror and realize just how shitty things have actually gotten. But that's why the Arch is really perfect, because, I mean, it does serve as a picture frame for the collapse. You sit on one side and you look through the Arch, and what do you see? You see the decay of America. You look through the Arch and you see the burning trash fire of the American economy. But it's what we deserve. In the end, it's what we deserve. We let this happen. We sat there watching Netflix, letting private equity sweep up all the homes out there, all the single family homes, so nobody can actually buy them. We're all forced to rent. We let them hollow out the factories and send them abroad, or restructure their corporations, fire everyone to put in AI. We let them flood the streets with opioids, and we let them turn politics into a circus. We let them do that. So maybe we can't get too mad at the Arch. Maybe we just need to shut up and enjoy it. You know, go sit in the shade. As the climate crisis continues to get worse and the days get hotter in the summertime, if you're from Northern Virginia, like I am, and you spend enough time in DC to know that summers there are fucking brutal. So the fact that they're going to get hotter, we're going to need more shade as it is. And the National Mall always has a nice little breeze. But that's it, folks. I got to get back because I just got a text and it says the baby's waking up, and I just want to be the best father I can while I can in this crumbling country. But Arc de Trump, I guess that's a new fixture in our National Mall. All the monuments, we have Trump putting up his thing, putting his name up everywhere before the guy's even out of office. Tacky, gauche, but effective, and people love it. Tell me what you think in the comments section. If you're still here at this point, like and subscribe. Think about becoming a member. Give a donation to the channel, won't you? We appreciate you guys as always. Take care.